Hi everyone, my name is Rupal Haribhakti. I am a technical lead at Atlassian. I am going to talk about hacking your way machine learning using Redis AI. Very famous quote from Dave Waters: computers are able to see, hear, and learn. One quick disclaimer, my this particular talk is out of my own personal interest and research. It has nothing to do with what I do at Atlassian. I am primarily going to focus on introducing machine learning concepts. How do you prepare machine learning data? How do you translate the data in machine learning format? How do you build the model? Evaluate model accuracy and effectiveness, and how did Redis AI is useful and how did it help me. So why machine learning? So it's very helpful in use cases like where you have to categorize unstructured input of text and weather prediction. Another very useful machine learning use case, credit card companies use it for determining online transaction is fraudulent or not. For example, you are making an online purchase, and based on your user activity and some other parameters, credit card company is going to take that and compare against historical data to make a prediction that it's a fraudulent transaction or not. And this is a very common, like popular use case of machine learning. The machine learning pipeline has four stages. The first one is preparing your data. Second one is, if you have a text data, you have to extract features. Basically, you have to extract, convert your text or transform your text into a numerical input. Third one is building your machine learning model, and fourth one is making predictions. So how do we prepare the data? So if we have a text data, we can remove duplicates, remove punctuations, and if you have text or numerical data, you can remove empty null values and still remove duplicates. Another technique is stemming, and that is useful for text input. For example, can convert riding, road and ride, three words into a single word called ride, and there is library available in Python to do this. Now how do we extract features? So extracting feature is a process of converting collection of text documents into a matrix of token counts. Token counts are basically unique feature names in the input. So in this example, the word and does not happen in first line. So you can see the first row in column has value 0. So just the counting technique has slight problem. It is going to give more weightage and longer documents than shorter documents. To avoid this, we can use term frequency. So basically we take the count and divide it with total number of words. Finally, we can also further reduce the weightage of more common words like the, is, and, etc., which occurs in all documents. This is called TF-IDF. Basically, you take the term frequency, multiply it with inverse of document frequency. In supervised machine learning, you select an algorithm and you have to basically specify your input, and you also need to have expected result, which is a target. Once you have done that, building a model is very easy using scikit-learn library. So once you know which algorithm you are going to use for model, you just initialize it and call the fit method with input data and target. So now let's quickly go into a demo of what I was talking about. How can you basically do it? So here, like, I'm initializing count vectorizer, then I'm calling fit transform, which is going to give me the two-dimensional metric, and the feature name is going to give me all the unique words. So you can see here the and value 0 for the first cell, and document, for example, in second sentence it happens 2 times, so that's why you see 2 here. So for TF IDF, I will get a value between 1 and 0 because it's a term frequency times inverse of document frequency. So now we have basically extracted the features. We are ready to split the data into test train, creating a model, making prediction, and measuring accuracy. So I am going to use this iris data from scikit-learn library for this exercise, so which has like 4 input parameters: sepal length, sepal width, petal length, and petal width. So it's a flower type, and based on various parameters it's going to say that it's a type 1 iris flower, or there are 3 types of iris flower. So it's going to basically have class. So class essentially is our target. So I am experimenting with naive Bayes and support vector. So first step is splitting it into test and train. So I'm going to pass my input and target, and I'm going to call the model dot fit, and I'm going to call model dot predict, and I'm going to basically display the accuracy and other metrics like precision and F1 score. So once I run this, yeah, you can see like the naive Bayes category 2 has 64% precision versus support vector is giving 100% precision. And if we run it like multiple times, sometime like naive Bayes even like accuracy is 50%, but support vector consistently gives us 90 to 95% accuracy. So you can see here that support vector definitely works better in our use case with our data. So one thing I'm going to do is visualize what we have done so far. So I'm going to use this plot confusion matrix method, and which will give me like a metric representation of what we have done so far. So here you can see like in the input, these are the 3 type of iris flowers: Santosa, versicolor, and virginica. And this y-axis is for these are the true labels, and these are prediction. The x-axis is the prediction. So for virginica, 22 of them, the original label was virginica, but in prediction it came up as versicolor. So here you can see like this is where we are getting wrong prediction. So if we try to run it again, you might see slight difference. Yeah, so here like you see only 3, but then these are correct. So once we have done that, we are ready to build the pipeline. So to build the pipeline, you can use the pipeline object from scikit-learn. and then put all your steps in there, and then you are ready to use the fit method and prediction method directly from here. So there are a few options deploying to production. One is using Amazon SageMaker or GCP Cloud. Simpler option is just build a Flask or Django wrapper around your code, and if you want, you can use TensorFlow. So I'm going to summarize the process. So first and very important step is prepare your data. So data cleansing is very important. Remove duplicates, null, empty values, and do some other transformation necessary for your data. Then experiment with more than one machine learning model. So I use naive Bayes and support vector, but there are other models like linear regression, decision tree, random forest, and there are many more models available in scikit-learn library, ready to use. Experiment and see which one gives you good accuracy. Then once you have done that, build your pipeline, and now you are ready for deploying to prod. So don't stop here. Try to improve your model accuracy over time. So I actually initially pick just build a wrapper and deploy as a Python Flask service, and I am just storing data and model in memory, and I foresee some challenges like what if my training data is huge and it cannot fit in the memory. Other thing is sometimes making predictions in memory may not be enough, and it may not be efficient or fault tolerant. So this is where I came across Redis AI. So it's a module in Redis itself, and it automatically benefits from Redis capability like native data types. It's a robust ecosystem of clients, high availability, also provides clustering and various other Redis functionality. It can benefit from those. And most importantly, it's scalable, reliable, flexible, and you can use your favorite programming language, and it supports various frameworks like PyTorch, ONCs, and TensorFlow. Also, Redis AI introduces 4 new data structure: Tensor, Model, Script, and DAG. So for my experimentation, I use model data structure and Tensor and ONCs framework and Python. I split my code into two parts. One part will basically prepare the data, create the model, and upload to Redis AI. Other part will basically serve the live traffic, and it will have a REST endpoint for prediction. So for demo purpose, I'm going to run Redis cluster locally through Docker. So this is going to start like my Redis cluster locally, and I'm going to use data available from Kaggle on diabetes. So it has some parameters like glucose, age, BMI, and it also has outcome column. So for the test train split, I'm going to remove the outcome column, and for the target, I'm going to retain just use the outcome column. I'm going to initialize linear regression, call model.fit. I'll also basically print the mean squared error and save this model as in ONCs format. And once I have done that, I'm going to basically upload it to Redis locally running Redis cluster using model set. So I'm going to run this. So you can see like glucose 148, blood pressure 72, age 50, and has diabetes 1. I also build up Flask service which has prediction endpoint. So it's going to get a JSON input, it's going to convert it into a tensor format, and I'm going to wrap remaining of my code in the predict method, which is going to set the tensor and run it against the model we saved earlier, and it will get the prediction out, and I'm going to return it. So here you can see the ONGS model has been uploaded to Redis cluster. So now I'm ready to start my Python Flask service, and I will basically run it against a test data, a set of test data. So I'm just going to pass the most of the values are 0, the glucose is 94, age 25, and some other parameters, and it's going to say that the chances of diabetes are 0, meaning no. And I'm going to run it against one more input, which is basically blood glucose 137, age 33, and it's telling me that chances of having diabetes is 1. So I'm going to basically summarize these steps one more time. So I will have a cron job or scheduler which will run my Python sklearn code, going to generate the ONGS model, and it's going to upload it to Redis cluster running the Redis AI module. And once I have that, I'm going to be able to call my Flask endpoint via web or mobile interface, or any other API is going to call the endpoint, and my Flask service will take that input and run it against the model in Redis cluster, and then it's going to return the response back. So key learnings and takeaways from today's talk are introduction to machine learning. So I primarily talked about how do we prepare data, how to build the model, and how to basically measure the accuracy, and then what's the main advantages of using Redis AI. The main advantages I found is it's fast and Redis is distributed, and I can also in future look into improving and updating the model more dynamically using Redis keyers. So feel free to reach out to me if you have any follow-up questions. I have my contact information right in front of you, and thank you for listening.